again, my apologies in advance if my voice cuts out. It's still kind of doing that. But it is Tuesday, May 9th, 1:19 in the morning. I gotta say, I'm a little bummed out. We're gonna do Legendary Pit Boss's introduction, fear you not. But what I plan to do, I just got out of the shower and I was waiting around. I was just eagerly anticipating the clock striking midnight. I loaded up. I got an SD card from my Switch when I was out trying to find Blastertron and Tidepool for the second time. I got fresh eShop cards to cover the $19.90 purchase price of NBA Playgrounds. Nintendo doesn't have it up. Apparently PlayStation doesn't either, because I've been getting a lot of tweets from people that are ticked off they can't get it on their PlayStation. Here's my deal. I am the type of person that prefers a physical copy of the game. I always have been, I always will be. That's when I grew up. It was cool. You had neat manuals. There were fruit roll-ups with Toe Jam and Earl Panic on Funkatron. It was something that you could physically see. It's tangible. You can shelve it. You can alphabetize it, categorize it, whatever you want to do. Not really a fan of digital games. Now, in some cases, if it's like ancient technology and it improves it, or hey, I had Super Mario World, the greatest game of all time, but now if I get it on my 3DS, I can play there. In some cases, it makes sense, right? NBA Playgrounds is only available as a digital title, at least as far as I know, unless they come out and update it later. But as such, a digital title, I don't care if this is a MP3 album that you would have to wait until the morning to go get at Best Buy or Walmart or whatever. The perk of being digital and MP3 is that you can have it at midnight, right? Being a digital-only game, this should be available. And it is. It's available on Steam. Bravo. Hats off. It's available here on the Xbox One. Again, congratulations. Thank you, Microsoft, for being practical and getting this released at the time it should have been made available. I waited. I thought, well, maybe Nintendo's waiting, right, until it's, midnight on the West Coast at their Seattle headquarters or something. And no, well, I guess 2 a.m., I'll check again. I already checked at 1 a.m. 11 a.m. or 11 p.m., it would have been their New York world headquarters store, whatever. But bottom line, it didn't come out in Texas at midnight. Okay, I'm going to try again at 2 a.m. And I bring this up just because this is where, as an old school person, when I'm forced into it's kind of like, I made a video, it's not out yet, but it tells you how to get your gold points for Nintendo games, kind of the new way of doing it. There's no Club Nintendo code anymore. You have to redeem it. Strange ways to get your points on My Nintendo. They're called points, even though they're coins, which makes no sense to me. But again, I guess I'm old school. But when you have something that's all digital, only electronic, only available in the eShop or the download store or Steam, there is zero excuse to not have that readily available to download. I feel like if this was, Super Mario Odyssey, it would be ready. They might have even done like you can download it ahead of time, and then it'll be locked until the release point. I don't understand this, particularly then when it's Microsoft and Steam have done it properly. I don't know what Nintendo and Sony's deal is. Maybe it's on Mad Dog. I don't know who to blame, really. But this is the issue that people like myself have transitioning into this stuff. And I also bring this up. Obviously, this is a game, I'll admit, I think it would play best on the Xbox One. I think it would record best from the PC. How the servers pan out, I don't really know. I would assume Xbox or PC would be better. Probably PS4 slightly behind that, mainly because of the install base. And Xbox One and PC crossover, which is why they overtake Sony, in my opinion. But this, to me, is a classic console game, right? Sony or Xbox should be tearing it up with a game like this. The reason that I picked to go with a Nintendo Switch is because being able to, right now, I would love to be playing this. I think it would work great with a controller on the Xbox One. I think it would work great with the Nintendo Pro Controller. I don't think this game would play well on the 3DS, but with the Switch, I'm able to take the same experience I would have on an Xbox One or a PS4, and I'm able to have it portable with me on the go with the same resolution and graphics you would expect to have in an at-home experience, right? You could probably play it on the 3DS. It would be downscaled so much it would be painful, I'm afraid. So that was my logic for going with the Switch. And I'm only bringing this up because we've been covering that stuff in detail. But the main reason, what I want to know from you, I can easily record or stream this from the Switch. I don't know if any of you would be interested in seeing it. To me, when I first saw this game, I was like, NBA Jam is back. And growing up when I did, I would rent that from the local grocery store. Yes, I know that's, believe it or not, how things worked back in the day. And I had great times, man. You would get your initials in. You could unlock Clinton. Can't remember the others. The commentary was fantastic. It's just an arcade. It's kind of like an at-home arcade simulation, and it was a ton of fun. I absolutely loved it. My friend and I, we had our initials there. It was a great time, and I liken my NBA Jam experience to what I hope Playgrounds will be like. And again, being able to play this at home on the TV, you know, in wonderful high definition and everything, and then throw it in the car and play at work on break, when we go on road trips, being able to pull out and play this as you go down the highway, if you're not driving or you're super skilled or whatever, just appeals to me. So that, to me, made the Switch the definitive place to get it, right? But what I want to know from you, just to say, if you know nothing of this, feel free to watch a trailer. Play it if you're on an Xbox One or a PC. I guess Japan, Nintendo, and Sony has to wait for whatever reason. And what's stupid is it's already Tuesday over there. So I don't know what the logic is. But anyway, what I want to know from you is this anything you would have an interest at all in seeing? Again, it's totally, I don't even know. I think I may have streamed a couple games of Madden. I don't know if I ever exported them or not, but I think I would have a blast with this. Obviously, when I enjoy something, I think that translates well through the game. But I'm curious if anyone is interested in it. Because if no one is, or not many people are, I'll just play this in my own free time, and I'm going to have a great time with it. But please let me know on that. And again, kudos to you, Xbox One. Oh, man, and Steam. The other thing that came out today, I don't know why everything cool always happens on the same day. That's how it always is. You never get to stretch it out. It's always just boom, everything. And note right there, the Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels pack. That's the game and the pack, so it's like $59 for the game, $20 for Hot Wheels, basically. I would really like to pick that up. Obviously, money doesn't grow on trees. I elected to go the Playgrounds route because I was like, well, you know, I think that'll be the most payoff for me personally because I can play it on the go. I'm very intrigued by that, and that's something I could be playing right now as well. But I don't know, man. I checked Target, by the way, .com, and they still say that, what is that? Michael Jackson with a Minecraft NES. Okay. That's pretty funny. Anyway, you can see more on the Hot Wheels stuff there, but man, that's something else. I'm curious. I know a few of you have watched my Forza Horizon 3 playthrough, but I'm curious, like, does the Hot Wheels thing interest you or not? That said, we're going to do Skylanders Imaginators here. Dun, 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 dun. And introduce Legendary Pit Boss, which I had someone bring up. I think it was Dan. Hey, can you please do a stats? Of course, that is what I live for. Is comparing and contrasting. And the cool thing is, I don't know what they are, but based on Legendary Tri-Tip, we know that he should in fact... Oh, I hate this part. Skip, skip, skip. I don't hate it, it's just super annoying for the recording. Okay, it's actually cool, but... Skip, skip, skip. Yes, I'm pressing A. Well, that was Nintendo A. See, this is what happens. I've been doing a lot of Mario Kart. Oh, we know. Alright, here we are. I don't know how we're only at 48%, to be honest with you. Copyright notice. That's par for the course. I wanted to give credit where credit was due here before we get going. Okay, that's a weird comment. I should turn this down for you because I was watching the Jazz and Warriors. Alright, so we have Pit Boss here. Oh, I need my spreadsheet open. I had a weird deal where my editing software would not, on the old computer of course, would not read any new videos, and I had to finally just completely turn off the computer, let it sit, and then restart it. There we are. That's my research. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Let me find this. Also, if you haven't seen Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Part 1, there's this, well, we'll call her a lady, and it's a Russian scam. It's one of those, like, clickbait deals, you know, and her name is Your Melina, I guess, and she says, whoop, there's my spreadsheet opening. Always a step behind, Excel. I love you. Do you want to meet me? And so I said, yes, as a token of my love, please take this red shell. Epic troll. Right there. I had some people, when I posted it on Twitter, they were like, I think thinking I was being mean to a real person. No. She's got a video for you and for me and for all of us, but it's in the About page, even though she's commenting on YouTube, and it's a link, even though she could have easily just uploaded her video expressing her undying love for us and her lust for our financial information. But, you know, from time to time, I assume if they delete her account, I've seen people complaining about this particular account. Apparently anything trending, which I guess Mario Kart 8 is, which is how she found me, last night at 4 in the morning, she comments on like everything, and again, it's just like a phishing scam. So I'm not being mean to a real person, I'm just trolling some scammer. So let's see here, though. I wanted to cover this. Bear with me here. It's not showing up. Alright, so Dan was saying that he doesn't believe the attack and attack speed buff is supposed to stay with us. After testing his findings, he decided to complete his upgrade pass, only realizing he wanted the bottom path instead. I was able to maintain his buff by letting it time out while I was in its center while obtaining his Sky Chi. Then I pulled him off the portal and placed him back on to see if I could replicate the results, and not been able to maintain the attack and attack speed buff since. So he's thinking it might time out with the basically just be undoable again once we... I summon thee! I love Cobra Commander. Once we have pulled him off the portal. I don't think he's come off the portal because when I threw Legendary down... Oh, well, let's get in here. Well, let's not, because we need Legendary available to us. But there's someone else I was trying to see. Oh yeah, it was Dan that wanted the stats. So here we are. There's Pit Boss. Okay, so what we're going to do finally, let me denote the time. 12 minutes, fantastic. Is introduce Legendary Pit Boss. So here we go.
The scales of justice.
I think he looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Now we've obviously had him on the portal before, but that's a very, very lingery legendary dust there. Alright, so this, I believe, I could be mistaken, but I think this is when I took him through the Sorcerer Sensei Shrine, so we'll go ahead and open this up. It should be duplicate.
New arm guard.
It is ultimate, and it is the all-seeing eye arm guards. Plus 36 armor, plus 10 luck, duplicate boosted stats. Fantastic. We're done. We're caught up on the chest. Let's get in here. So,
Skylander.
gotta also pull up his bio, because for whatever reason, I don't have that done already. But yeah, I guess I'm like the last person in America whose Target doesn't have Blastertron. Like, they finally get a time. It's typically Toys R Us, and then if it's not them, it's GameStop that gets the characters first. You know, sometimes it's just distribution patterns. Everyone's to have them roughly the same time, and it doesn't pan out, and Target might do it. But in terms of like, hey, your friendly pals here at Activision are going to let you sell these two characters before anyone else. Target finally gets that again, and my local store doesn't have any of them. Typical. I wouldn't expect it any other way, actually. So, like I said, Blaster. A lot of you want me to pick those up, introduce them. I would love to, but I cannot find them. Therefore, we cannot progress. It is what it is, right? So, Legendary Pit Boss's slogan is the Scales of Justice. And insert your most Cobra Commander-esque voice. I shouldn't have done that because it made my nose run, but According to the website, power 300 out of 350, armor 200 out of 350, agility 300 out of 350, and luck 200 out of 350. Let's go ahead here, and I'm going to make us wait, because it's going to probably be the most exciting part of this, at least for me, because I've introduced standard Pit Boss. You might not have seen that. Alright, here we go. Pit Boss was a member of a powerful order of snake philosophers that lived high up in the great twisty mountains. Travelers would come from miles around and make the treacherous climb just to seek out the snake's wisdom. Each visitor was permitted to ask one question, but Pit Boss became alarmed when the same question was asked by several different people. How to deal with the growing threat of chaos. With such a great concern, Pit Boss knew that it was time for action, not words. I still get annoyed that there's no effort made to distinguish legendary from standard Pit Boss. That's what sort of tripped me up there. He left the Order of the Snake, see also Cobra, in search of this threat, and soon it was clear that chaos was worse than Pit Boss had imagined. Knowing he could not stop chaos on his own, Pit Boss joined the Skylanders, and due to his great wisdom and mystical powers, Master Eon enlisted him into the Sensei program as a legendary sorcerer master. I inserted legendary there just to kind of give us a little something. So, he is a Viper, yet when he jumps he has a rattle, and when he is in Slithering Soul Snake, his secondary attack, he also has a rattle. I don't know. Being in Texas, there's a lot of rattlesnakes, and I see them and deal with them a lot. And it's interesting. They always like come up on your back porch, basically, just to be in the shade, particularly in the summer. But it's one of those things, like, people always kill bull snakes, and they're like, yeah, well, I thought it was a rattlesnake. It's like, how? How do we confuse those two? Like, bull snakes are actually, well, rattlesnakes aren't bad either, but I mean, they can screw you over, whereas a bull snake won't do that. But I guess it's like the size of the bull snake that confuses people, and the head being similar. If you didn't know, I don't know if this is like just in the South or just in rural areas, but weapon of choice against a snake, if you're not using a gun, is actually a hoe. Because, hey, they're sharp, they till, and they cut heads off. If you were unaware. Plus, it's mainly, for me, it's the reach factor, right? You don't want to be right up on something that can coil and jump. You want to maintain a distance from said venomous creature. So, typically, I don't really mind snakes too much. It's just one of those things, like, you always almost step on them and it freaks you out. But anyway, plus vipers are cool. At least dodge vipers. Haha, see what I did there? Okay, so this is the moment of truth. You know what? No, screw it. We're going to do his attacks first. I'm going to make you wait for those stats. That said, I do have polls up, SkylanderClub.com. We have got Pit Boss versus Legendary Pit Boss. Who do you think looks better and why? Similarly, I have got Legendary Pit Boss versus Legendary Tri-Tip and Legendary Showdown. We've got, do you prefer the new Imaginators legendary color scheme of red and gold, or the traditional dark blue and gold? Lots of important questions to be answered, and you can participate. SkylanderClub.com, it is the polls section. You do not, I repeat, you do not have to be a registered member to vote. You would need to be registered if you want to, like, comment on the forum, but if all you want to do is say, OMG, yes, Legendary Pit Boss looks so much better, and vote in said manner, you can come in here and say that in the comments section. I run the forum. It's not some third-party deal. I don't spam anything. If you're super into Skylanders, I would encourage you to consider signing up, but otherwise, feel free to just vote in the polls. And the more we have vote, the better of a feel for the issue at hand we will uncover. So, that said, primary attack. Doing 22. It's kind of a 1-2-3. So, you can hear the sound differential, but 22, 22, and then the third one is kind of like spinning and spiraling. 22 to 33, 22 to 33, and then 39 to 59, right? Wait. Why is it 22? Oh, it must be his attack. Okay, box stock. Man, okay. So box stock, he is actually 21 to 32, 21 to 32, 36 to 54. I do want to mention that these will pierce enemies. I swear I pulled that again. So I can shoot him and it will, not that you can see because of the wonderful camera angles. But see how we're sending the snake through him and into the other dummy? But that is crazy. So I guess his attack numbers are definitely higher. we'll have to make note of everything once again. So I might actually do his base upgrades as a standalone, which will be fantastic because we spent 12 minutes talking about digital titles, old school games, and NBA Playgrounds and Hot Wheels, because hey, we're totally on topic, right? So I will have to redo everything here. Slithering Soul Snake is a secondary. Oh, it is color coordinated at least. I was going to be so salty if they screwed this up.
All right.
Why is he timing out that fast though? Let me come down here. No, 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 no. Why is it 4 seconds? Slithering Soul Snake is supposed to be 8 seconds. It was with standard Pit Boss. What? No. That's weird. I held B that time and he went longer. Strange. Okay, so 24 to 36 is what we were doing with standard Pit Boss, but with legendary Pit Boss, what are we going to do? 26 to 39. Touche. That seemed to go about right.
They got served.
Indeed they did. I guess he'd be good at tennis, too. You know what? Skylanders Sports Mix. Make it happen. Sorcerers would be fantastic servers at tennis. You know, they're used to carrying a staff around. As his, in particular, with the large snake eye on the staff, is very akin to a tennis racket, right? I could see him being good. Puts a lot of spin on the serve. Speaking of that, Mario Tennis was a very underrated game, in my opinion. It's a great 3DS title. That said, this is the moment of truth. I've got to come down here, get his situation set up. All right, here we go. Let's do, okay, health-wise, standard Pit Boss was 250. Legendary Pit Boss is 250, so no change in health. That's, again, kind of to be expected for an undead character, but let's do this.
Statistics are my fourth favorite S word, behind snake, serpent, and slither, of course.
But of course. So, he looks, I gotta say, as awesome as the kind of like undead aqua sky blue chameleon green color is on standard Pit Boss, the red and the gold, as much as you know, I don't like red or gold that well. This actually works pretty good, I have to say. I'm glad they differentiated the gold of the belt versus like the genuine gold luster of the legendary here. But you can sort of see the main detail on his outfit, aside from like the scales, is in fact that viper or cobra aesthetic you can kind of see there. And then once again, we're mixing all kinds of snakes here. But, the staff is pretty cool. I wish he would position it where you could see it better. Sadly, I can't adjust the angles. That said, do you... Wow. Oh my. I was going to say, do you remember the stats for Pit Boss? Because if you did, you would know what we're comparing. I mentioned to you that he was doing totally different damage numbers, so I thought his attack damage statistic would be higher. How's plus 10 sound to you? Standard Pit Boss attack is 8. Legendary Pit Boss attack is 18. Just for reference, Pit Boss is very simple to remember. It's 8 on everything. And again, we do all of this at level 1, so we have our baseline established. Legendary Pit Boss, you can sit there and you can see that his defense or his armor is at 8. So that is equal, same thing, no change. Speed. Pit Boss himself is at 8. Legendary Pit Boss at 18. Fantastic. Luck for both snakes will remain at 8. So, That is pretty cool, I gotta tell you. Plus 10 on attack and plus 10 on speed and agility, so plus 20 overall superior to his standard counterpart. Just because we are what we are. We are the statistic people, just like our old scholar here, Pit Boss. Where is my man from the Earth Elements? Tri-tip. It's gotta be down here somewhere. There we go. Alright. So, Tri-tip and Legendary Tri-tip. Same health at 370. The attack for Legendary Tri-tip plus 10. The armor for Legendary Tri-tip plus 10 at 20. So 10 versus 20. And attack 6 versus 16. Speed is 8. Luck is 10 for each of them. So, Legendary Tri-tip also shares a plus 20 favorability rating if we combine all of the meaningful statistics here: attack, armor, speed, and luck. So Legendary Tri-tip, again, plus 10 attack and plus 10 armor, whereas when we're over here with Pit Boss, plus 10 attack, plus 10 speed. So instead of armor, he got speed. That's the difference between our two legendaries. And again, if the aesthetics don't mean anything to you, if it's a situation where you're just like, oh, you know, they both look okay, or I don't love one or hate the other, what you would want to do if you're in that boat and you have Legendary available, which again, exclusive to Toys R Us here in the US, at least in new condition at retail, you would want to go Legendary for him and Tri-tip. Tri-tip is a fantastic character. I would have no objection to you picking up standard and legendary, but let's say that money is tight and you're like, I don't know, you know, Pit Boss looks cool, but legendary does too. Doesn't bother me either way. Go legendary. He has superior statistics, as he should, because it's consonants. It starts with an S, right? Maybe that's how they selected speed. Maybe they went sword and speed. And, well, they could have done shield, though. Anyway, main thing, plus 10 attack, plus 10 speed. Very cool. Snake attack, that is the primary that we showcase. Press X to launch ghostly snake attacks. We'll showcase that again here shortly. Slithering soul snake, this is the secondary attack. Press and hold B to turn into a snake. With standard, it was 8 seconds, and it seemed to just be that consistently. Now, I don't know, because if I don't hold B, he goes for 4 seconds. If I hold B, he can go like 9 to 10, and that confuses me. So it says press and hold B, but with Pit Boss, I swear, I even think I said in the video, it's like, oh, I don't have to hold B. He just stays in it and times out every time. So I don't know. We'll have to investigate that. That said, these next 4 are the base upgrades, 5, 7, 900, and 1200 respectively. If you're interested in them, I already have them up for standard Pit Boss. However, since he's legendary and the attacks are different, and we rambled for 12 minutes of the start of this video, I'll make a standalone for legendary, because he will in fact have different statistics for the same upgrades. Why? Because his attack is plus 10. So it won't be huge. It'll be like a plus 1, plus 2 type of a thing, but meaningful nonetheless. Viper pits, which are actually pretty cool. Press Y to create viper pits that damage enemies and make your X attacks do more damage and travel faster. Next up is best for last. Do damage around you when releasing B. After that, you've got Pitmaster. Viper pits slow enemies down, and they will always take critical hits. You can also make one more Viper pit. After that, Slither away. Carry enemies with you when turning into a snake with B. So, top path was what? Snake Charmer, I believe, right? I think so. It kind of focuses on the secondary. You can carry one more enemy during the B attack, Slithering Soul Snake. The more the snakier, the more enemies you carry with B, the more damage you will do. And lastly, Shedding. Leave your remains behind as a barrier when transforming back from B. Bottom path is, of course, called Pit Prowess. It focuses on the tertiary. Not much love for the primary, which was kind of sad in my opinion. Vipers will shoot out of Viper Pits when they expire and damage enemies, that being restless reptiles. Up next, you have Viper Pit Pounce. Jumping while in snake form creates a Viper Pit. You can now make up to 3 of them. That's probably going to be your biggest perk right there. and really restless reptiles. Vipers will continuously escape the viper pits and damage enemies. After that, you've got the Soul Gem, the Undersnaker. Release B while coiled in Slithering Soul Snake to unleash a giant undead snake. I still don't know how you coil. Like, the positions I've seen him in B is not coiled, so something will have to be added, explained, or made clear to us. And lastly, we've got the Viper Volley. This is our Sky Chi power. Hold right trigger to perform your Sky Chi power. It is raining snakes. So let's come back over here. We're going to again showcase Snake Attack and Slithering Soul Snake. So we'll pull this down. Snake Attack, 22, 22, 33, 22, and we'll do 1, 2, 3 now. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So, yes.
To all my enemies, the snake reigns supreme.
That's great. I guess Supreme would be his favorite pizza, right? So he is 22 to 20. I'm sorry, 33, 22 to 33, and then he finishes off with, was it 39, right? Is that what I was seeing? Yes. So half of 39 is going to be, what, 19.5, which rounds up to 20, which would be 59. So 39 to 59. Standard Pit Boss, again, 21-32 on 1 and 2, 36 to 54. So 21 and 21 is 42, and 36 is 78. Standard attack numbers for Snake Attack for Pit Boss, 78. Whereas Legendary Pit Boss, thanks to that plus 10 attack, 78 becomes 44, 74, 83. So plus 5 overall. Not a huge deal. Obviously, it's exasperated slightly more with our critical hits factored in, but it is something. I mean, it does over time add up, particularly as you're upgrading, as you get better and more powerful attacks, so keep that in mind. Secondary attack is the Slithering Soul Snake. It should be 8 seconds, and I had no issues replicating that, but 24 to 36 is what we did. Let's see what we're doing now. 26 to 39. Very cool. One misses.
They got served.
Let me count again. That's about 8 seconds. Huh. So, for whatever reason, I'll have to go back and play with it, but if I hold B, I get roughly 8 seconds. I feel like it's slightly more. Maybe it's just he's moving faster. I don't know. If I tap B, he does 4 seconds. I did not denote that at all with Pit Boss. And I was to a point where I was pretty sure that I just would tap B and he'd automatically run the full 8 seconds unless I pressed B, in which case he would, like, let's try that. I'm about to 5 seconds. And if I release B, he times out. 6 Mississippi, I press B, he times out. If I just tap B, I'll have to play around with that. Some interesting things going on here. But, you know what? He's legendary. And I did talk about some other things at the beginning. Even though this is the... Oh, he landed on his head. That was so cool. Even though we kind of wasted some time here, I want to make it worth your while. I'm going to showcase the coveted, the Sky Chi, right now. I will tell you, 38 to 54 were the numbers that we had for Standard Pit Boss. Just, he does a couple of different sets, but 38-54 is the main one. Let's go ahead and see what we get here.
Taste the venom.
I'm guessing 40 to 60, 41.
Sky Chi is so sweet.
Yeah, indeed it is. So I saw some 41s and some 59s in there. We'll figure it all up later. But hey, this is Legendary Pit Boss once again. Plus 10 attack, plus 10 speed. Just moving him around, he does feel slightly quicker. I mean, it's not like you've got Stealth Elf versus Slam Bam type of a speed, comparison. But as you should know from SSA and the glory days of Skylanders, speed and armor, those are my two favorite statistics, particularly to have increased. So, pretty happy here with Legendary Pit Boss. I'm also very curious to see how you feel in terms of the aesthetics. You've seen them when I unboxed them on the pool table and mentioned the poles for the first time. But now that you've seen them in game in the event that you didn't have either or just one of them, I'm wondering. I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty close battle, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this one edge out for legendary. Actually, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. Again, SkylanderClub.com. Scroll down to the polls section. That's what you need to do. That's where you can find this and many other polls. I'm going to end this video now. My apologies for the start, but please do let me know if you would be interested in seeing NBA Playgrounds. I'll probably upload a little bit of it anyway. I tweeted the dev and asked, hey, will this be available right at midnight on the Switch? And do you allow it to be monetized? Primarily because if it can't be monetized, it's probably got stuff in it that would be claimed, like, team names, players, NBA, all that crud. With 2K, you can actually get by with that, but I don't know if they have like a higher, more exclusive license that's passed on type of a thing. So basically what I want to avoid doing is uploading this game for you to watch and see if you might like it or be like, wow, he really does enjoy this. And ultimately get slapped in the face with like huge like the really bad copyright claims. Like when Nintendo does that to me, it's just like, they're making money on their video. This could be a situation where it's like, oh, hey, do that 2 more times and we'll delete your channel. So that's what I'm unsure of. That's why I tried to touch base with the developer. But if I can't do that, like have it on YouTube, I might stream it on Twitch to work around that. And like I said, it might just be a deal to showcase it. But if a lot of you are like, oh yeah, that would be awesome, you should totally do that. I don't know what everyone's into. I know if you're here, you're probably into Skylanders and Nintendo and Minecraft and maybe Stardew Valley and other random indie games. But what if my audience is like 75% huge NBA fanatics? I don't know. I'm not sure what all everyone's into. So if it's something you would like to see, please let me know. If it's something you would absolutely have zero desire to see, also feel free to let me know. But it is something I will be, unless the game is like completely broken and horrible, I'll be playing the crud out of it, just like I do Mario Kart. So it doesn't make any difference to me, but if it is something people want to see, I'll hold myself back a little bit in my free time side, like when videos are rendering and uploading, and try to find some way to throw together a playthrough. It will kind of depend how the game feels and what the options are and whatnot, but I would like to at least have like one video on it just so people can see it and be like, ah, gotta have that, or man, what a horrible idea this was. I don't know. But bottom line, I picked the Switch because of the portability factor, which to me this is like perfect. Being able to play NBA Jam on your Genesis back in the day, if I could done that on like road trips, going on vacations in the summer as a kid, I'd have been on cloud freaking 9, man. So that's one of the big perks of the Switch, and I'm very excited to experience that. But that said, thanks so much for watching. OneOfWiisdom.com. Don't forget to vote in the polls. Feel free to let me know your thoughts here. But we will do his base upgrades as a very quick standalone video. We won't talk about playgrounds and Hot Wheels. I will also ask you, I already have, but once again, do you have an interest in seeing the Hot Wheels expansion pack? Because again, if you do, I'll put it out for you. If not, I'll probably play it on my own time. We'll see how it all pans out. But that said, please vote in the polls. Follow me on Twitter, Beam, Twitch. I stream here on YouTube now because Amazon ticked me off with what they did with Mario Kart 8. Still trying to get 10 free copies of the game donated to charity. I doubt they step up to the plate, but hey. That said, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys back here. It's 1:58 in the morning, so I'm going to go check the eShop for Playgrounds yet again, and I will catch you in the next one.